Julie McDonough with the Newton Public Schools. We'll get started with our press conference. I'll first introduce School Committee Chair Chris Brezski, and then Mayor Ruthanne Fuller, City of Newton, will follow. Mr. Brezski.
Good evening. Chris Brezski, Chair of the Newton School Committee. After months of negotiation and 10 days of a strike, the NTA presented its first proposal on wages and salaries since December of 2023, when it increased its demands, and this was its first package proposal during the strike. The NTA proposal was neither affordable nor sustainable. The union attached a poison pill to their COLA demand that would have extended a 4 or 5% COLA, depending on unit, if the next contract was not signed before expiration. No rational school committee could ever agree to this demand. Accepting the NTA proposal wholesale would have required a reduction in force of more than 70 educators and support staff throughout the life of the contract. The school committee presented its counter proposal at 3:15 p.m., and that proposal included a compounded COLA of 11.7% over the life of the contract, an aggregate increase in educator wages of 21.4% over the life of the contract, 60 days of paid parental leave for all employees, which accepted the NTA's terms, and increased hours and starting wages for aides. In addition, Superintendent Dr. Anna Nolan has committed to add social workers in elementary schools and to reducing high school STEM class sizes with additional teachers. The NTA president, in response, stated that their package proposal was take it or leave it, and walked out of the room without any discussion, without any negotiation, and without a willingness to consider the school committee's proposal. This was not bargaining in good faith. The school committee team remains at the Education Center and awaits the union's return to the bargaining table so that we can get our students back to school. Thank you.
Ruthanne Fuller, City of Newton Mayor. This is a dreadful night. It is not what the school committee and I expected or were working for all weekend and over the last many months. I'm increasingly worried that the union leadership is losing sight of the fact that the decision to go on an illegal strike is hurting our children. Removing the school routine, as one parent wrote, is wreaking havoc. Children feel isolated at home. Canceling extracurriculars is removing great joy and hurting great mental health. And high schoolers feel anxious and stressed out. We are offering our teachers a contract that honors them, honors their valuable service, and is in line with peer school districts. Similar to what the superintendent wrote earlier today, I cannot endorse a union contract that would mandate the cutting to our current level of services or to our current employees in order to fund it. In these hard hours, we will stay true to our core principles of prioritizing the budget for the Newton Public Schools, providing competitive wages and benefits to our valued school and city employees, and having sustainable budgets. We cannot make financially damaging decisions that means laying off employees to fund unsustainable higher salaries and benefits. We can't and won't kick the can down the road only to face a fiscal crisis in the future. We are unwilling to sign an unsustainable contract that results in teacher layoffs. Similarly, we are unwilling to lay off police, officers, firefighters, and other municipal employees to pay for a contract that we cannot afford. The Newton School Committee and the mayor are elected to do what is best for our entire community now and in the future, even when it is hard. We will continue to negotiate in good faith. I know what is most important to everyone is getting our schools open. The school committee negotiating team is doing everything that it can within our financial means to get them open. The union leadership can decide right this moment to open schools tomorrow. We have until 7:30 or even 8:30 tonight to hear them say that, and we'll be open tomorrow. And the school committee and I commit to negotiating with great urgency if the NTA ends the strike while we continue to negotiate. Thank you.
Mayor, are negotiations still ongoing tonight, or have they wrapped up?
I don't have an answer to that. We haven't heard from the union since they walked out of the room.
And where are they now? Did they leave the building? Or
I have no idea where the union is. We are still in the building. We are ready to negotiate at any moment. All we need is a partner to negotiate with.
The NCA put out a statement saying negotiations today failed and that they will be striking tomorrow. What is the response to that? I think a lot of parents are getting mixed signals. Is school still on at this point? Because they're saying that they plan to be striking.
Superintendent Nolan has not yet canceled the school day. We remain ready and willing to negotiate. There is still time to open school tomorrow if the union is willing to come up here and talk to us.
7:30, you said, is kind of the cutoff on when you'll have to make that
We've been cutting it off at about 7:30 and time to give parents, time to scramble to get their child care in order and being respectful of that.
How do you feel going into the second full week of this now?
I woke up this morning after what was a pretty productive day yesterday. Knowing that we still had not gotten a monetary offer from the union, but knowing that, look, we had 12 hours today to make this happen. And after a productive day yesterday, and for the first time, it felt like they really wanted to get a deal done. For the first time in 10 days, it felt like the union really wanted to get a deal done. I was slated to meet with union president at 9 a.m. this morning to set forth how we were going to structure this day so that we could get to a deal by 8 o'clock. The mediator came in before 9 o'clock and told us there would be no 9 o'clock meeting. And in fact, you're going to wait here till 11. And then we waited till 11:45. And finally, sometime afternoon, they dumped a 36-page MOA on us and said, you have 2 hours to come back and agree to it, take it or leave it. At that point, I wasn't as hopeful anymore.
Fair to say you're not close on a deal at this point?
We're $26 million apart over the life of the contract. So that represents, in aggregate, about 10% of 1 year of the contract.
Will there be a court hearing tomorrow?
I'm not certain about that.
Are you surprised that this strike has taken so long to strike us so long?
I am. The progress we made yesterday and the progress that we could have made today, this thing could have been solved in 2 days. Because up to the prior 8 days, the union has not come forward and negotiated on the things that really matter, the big picture, the big money things. They've refused to engage on. But we could have gotten this done on 2 days. We could have gotten this done on any 2 days over the last 6 months if we had a partner to negotiate with. So yeah, I'm surprised.
Mayor Fuller, some union leaders have conceded that the school committee may not in fact have the funds for some of the items that they have requested within their constraints of their budget, but say that you as mayor should be able to direct city dollars toward the district. What do you say to that?
I have always prioritized the budget of the Newton Public Schools. when I craft the budget, the department that gets the biggest increase is the Newton Public Schools. We've had a couple of happily wacky one-time payments. I've put those monies already forward to support the Newton Public Schools in this contract. The only way to provide even more funding for the Newton Public Schools is to cut services in other departments, which hurt our residents. Our three biggest departments, police, after, just put it in context, the Newton Public Schools has over 2,000 employees. Want to put this in context for you. Our next three largest departments are police, then fire, then public works. Police has 210 employees. Fire has 199. Public works has 134. Cuts, if we're providing the type of contract that the NTA says, take it or leave it, I have to lay off those types of employees.
Mayor, Superintendent of Schools put out a statement earlier today talking about, from a vantage point, the lack of trust between the sides here that really led to the decline. You as mayor, do you agree, do you see that as being the hurdle that has caused us to not move forward progress-wise?
I think there is a lack of trust, and it is one of the factors that is leading to this difficult time. We're living in a difficult time in this world where the split between neighbor and neighbor, union and school committee, mayor and residents is just, it's growing wider. And I am all in on trying to find a way in the coming days, and we will sign a contract to try to knit back together the many hurt feelings and hard feelings that I'm seeing prevalent in Newton.
Can you speak to the anxiety among high school seniors and their families about, perhaps this is a question for you, about their pending applications to schools and grades and getting in contact with colleges? This is a big undertaking for not only college seniors, their parents as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is a very valid concern. Dr. Nolan is in communications with folks that are able to, do what needs to be done to get those transcripts out and the like. She would be able to speak to that better in terms of what the actual logistics are, but those discussions are underway.
We'll take one more question if anyone has any more.
What time did the union set out today or walk out?
I believe it was about 3:15 we presented. Yeah, the union had demanded a 3:30 return on their 36-page MOA. We were back in the room at 3:15 to give them that counter proposal, and that didn't last for all of 5 minutes. I mean, we didn't get a word out before they cut us off and walked out of the room.
So you haven't been speaking since that point?
I have not heard from the union since that time, no,
When was the last time you spoke to the
Alright,
president of the union, yourself personally?
when he walked out of the room.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it.
all.
Thank you.